In a quiet, peaceful village lived a sweet girl known to everyone as Little Red Riding Hood, named after her bright red hooded cape that she wore wherever she went. One morning, her mother packed a basket filled with warm bread and berry juice. "Mother, Red, take this to your grandma. And remember, do not talk to strangers in the forest." Red, smiling confidently, "I promise, Mama." With her basket swinging and her red cape fluttering, Little Red Riding Hood skipped happily into the woods. Deep inside the forest, behind a crooked old tree, someone watched her carefully. A tall, sly wolf stepped out, wearing a sharp, toothy smile. "Wolf, good morning, little girl, and where might you be going today?" Red paused. Something about him felt strange, but he sounded polite, so she answered softly, "I'm going to my grandma's house. She lives at the end of this path." The wolf's eyes glimmered with a sneaky idea. "How lovely! Why not gather some pretty flowers for her? She would surely love them." Red looked at the colorful flowers glowing in the sunlight. "That's a good idea." As she wandered off to pick flowers, the wolf rushed down the shortcut, straight toward Grandma's house. The wolf reached Grandma's house in no time and knocked gently on the door. The wolf, in a sweet, fake voice, said, "Grandma, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood." Grandma opened the door, and the wolf leaped in with speed. He quickly locked Grandma inside her wardrobe, then pulled on her nightgown, her cap, and even her glasses. Finally, he climbed into her bed, pretending to be sick and weak. After picking the prettiest flowers she could find, Red finally arrived at her grandma's cottage. The door was slightly open. Red said, "Grandma, are you all right?" She stepped inside slowly. On the bed lay Grandma, covered in blankets, but something felt off. Red said, "Grandma, what big ears you have." The wolf said, "All the better to hear you with, my dear." Red said, "And what big eyes you have." The wolf said, "All the better to see you with, my dear." Red stepped even closer, her basket trembling in her hands. Red said, "Grandma, what big teeth you have." The wolf threw off the blanket with a roar. He said, "All the better to eat you with." He lunged at her, but Red jumped out of the way just in time. The wolf chased her around the small cottage until, bam! The front door flew open. The woodcutter rushed in, having heard Red's frightened scream. "Stay away from her!" The wolf froze. Then, desperate, he played one last trick. "Wait, Grandma's trapped inside. I was only trying to save her." Red shook her head firmly. "He's lying. Grandma never talks like that." The woodcutter flung the wardrobe open, and Grandma burst out, frightened but safe. The wolf knew his tricks were over. He dashed out the door and ran deep into the forest, never to return again. Red hugged her grandma tightly, relieved, safe, and grateful. "I'm so glad you're okay, Grandma. And I'm proud of you for being brave." From that day on, Red remembered her mother's warning. Never trust strangers, no matter how polite they seem. And from then on, she always stayed on the safe forest path, and the wolf's final trick truly was his last.